I just wanted to stop by again and continue the conversation as far as the emotions and everything that you may feel or go through in the process of going through your divorce. I wanted to bring awareness also to your children. Like, when you're going through a divorce, the children are also going through that divorce because now their world is being changed. They too are feeling neglected because of the choices the two parents made to split. We oftentimes are so selfish and so worried about ourselves that we forget about the impact that we're making on our children. After my divorce, my children behaviors changed. Not after, but during my divorce. Their behaviors changed. They developed the spirit of rejection. And it was nothing that I can do about it. The minute the breakup happened, these spirits began to move in. The spirit of rebelliousness, the spirit of anger, the spirit of rejection, the spirit of disrespect. All these things developed into my children the minute me and their dad split. So you have to be aware that this doesn't just affect you and your emotions. Your children are also too impacted by this decision. So you have to be gentle with them. And if it was left up to me, which I did do, I got counseling for each for my, I didn't get counseling for myself, but I did get counseling for my children through their school to help them through the process. I did whatever it would take to help all of us. And for me, I was broken for a long time. I was so hurt and so disappointed. I started questioning, why did I have these children? Did I have these children just because I was married to him? I was really mean to them. And this is why I'm coming to you guys to bring awareness of your emotions and of your behavior, because my children were impacted too. And I overlooked their pain for a small amount of time during the process of my divorce. I overlooked their pain because I was so in pain. I was so disappointed. I was so broken. I was so hurt that I didn't even realize that they too was just as hurt as I was. And I didn't spend too much time worried about their pain. I loved them through it the best way I knew how. But I was more so in my emotions and feelings. And I can smile about it now because I never saw this part. I never saw me sitting here standing strong, being able to carry myself and carry them through this singleness. I didn't think I was capable of providing for a household, providing for a car note, providing for all of the things to come with being single, the clothing, the shoes, the providing everything as you would with your husband being the provider of your household. I never imagined being responsible for all of this and to be able to sit on this side of the unknown. I am grateful. I am humbled. And I cherish me. And it took me some time to get out of the hole and come out of that dark space. And that's why it's very important to me who I allow into my world, because I refuse to let anyone come in this space and take me back there. It's not going to happen. It's going to take a lot for you to get this heart. I just don't give it so easily. Yes, I'm a loving, supportive, encouraging person. But baby, one thing you don't have is the shield that's covering this heart. It's going to take some work to get here. But all I'm saying is, you guys, make sure you're very patient with yourself and with your children, because you're not the only one that's going through this divorce. They too are affected by this decision. So please be patient with them as well. Love them through it. They will not understand until they get older, but you can constantly ensure them that they still have you both, just not under the same roof. Until next time, it's more to come on this topic, because now we have to learn to be co-parents. Now we have to learn how to still communicate and still support each other through the divorce. So it's a journey, but I promise you it can be done. Me and my children's father are really good friends. We already had that friendship before we got married. So that friendship still stands. You have to be able to forgive and release that person. And you have to still honor and respect the fact that we still did have love in the beginning. So the love never stops. I don't hate him for his choice. This is his life. And he has to do what's best for him in his life. And the same for me in mine. So there's no hate here, but it took me some time to get to this peace. Okay? It took me some time to step back and see that it was not me. I did nothing to make him to want the divorce. It wasn't something that I did to fully to make him want to make this decision. This was for him, strictly for his life and his choices and what he saw for himself. So don't carry the burden of I wasn't good enough. Don't carry the burden of I didn't perform the way I should have, or I should have cooked dinner, I should have did these things. Yes, you can work on the things that you could be better at, but don't let that be the end all be all to believe that you're the reason why this marriage didn't work out. Again, it's the power of choice and two people deciding that this is no longer possible to grow. I believe anything can work out. Now, if you've been abused and he beating you up and all that stuff, that's not somewhere you want to continue to reside, because God said he has given us life and given it to us more abundantly. So what we're not going to do is sit here and get beat up on for the sake of marriage. That's out. Okay? Save yourself. Don't be sitting up in no marriage because you honoring God. That's not God. He has released you from that marriage the minute, because the thing is, the minute he started hitting on you. Because see, Jesus died for you. He took those bruises for you, so it ain't making no sense for you to relive the sacrifice that he already made. So that's a different conversation. You need to get up out of there fast and in a hurry, because ain't no way somebody saying they love you hitting on you. They don't love themselves. And you don't love yourself if you sitting here thinking and making excuses for that man who is broken. He needs to seek counseling and healing. Those are childhood issues that's rooted up, and he's mad at his mother and he's mad at his childhood. And it's nothing you can do about that. You cannot fix him, heal him, change him. That is God's doing. He needs to seek that from himself, from the Lord within him. But you have the power to exit with no excuses, with no with no tolerance for this. You deserve love, you deserve respect, you deserve to be protected. So remove yourself from that situation fast. That's a whole nother story. I don't even know how we got on here, but whoever this is for, I pray that you be obedient to the words that's coming out of my mouth, baby, because you are here to live and not die, and not to be abused for the sake of love and marriage, thinking that this is what God wants you to go through. No, just because you said I do doesn't mean I do to being beat up, being abused. Because now you're creating generational curses. You're being abused in front of your children. So guess what that's going to do? Trickle down to them getting abused, because they think that's the way of love. They think that's the mirror you're putting in front of them. So you have to be very intentional about what it is that you do in front of your children, because they also too will think that this is normal because this is what they saw you do. Listen, you can say whatever you want to say to these kids, but they not looking at nothing you're saying. They're watching. I hear you, but I also see you, and what they're going to do is what they see, not what they hear. Okay? So I didn't want to make this video too long, which I did. So this probably is going to have to be broken up into 2 or 3s. But just remember yourself, remember your children, and get through this process the best way you know how. But please, don't be mean to your children. They didn't do it. Because a lot of women can sit there and see their father in their children and want to bring harm to the child because he looks or she looks like her father, or because he left, you want to make them suffer and not feed them. And they didn't ask to be here. Remember that. You guys made them out of love or whatever you was doing. They're here. It is not their fault that he did not stay. He didn't stay because he didn't want to. But somebody have to be the bigger person to stand in the gap to continue to carry those children through. And if God chose you to do it, you're equipped for it. So don't bring harm to your children. They didn't ask for this. They're hurting just as much as you are. So I'm going to need you to find the love within you, the strength within you to carry through and get through this, and still continue to feed them, continue to feed yourself, continue to keep them encouraged. You can do this. But be careful to stay away from evil, because evil can develop within you because you're so mad about the outcome, because now you have to do this alone. Because you didn't see this for your future. And I completely understand where you're coming from. But this is still not your children's fault. So therefore, be aware of your behavior so that they will not suffer as much, because they're hurting too. Until next time, thank you for tuning in with the thug. I'm about to go to the gym, so, I'm just showing up because I know it's inside of me and I have to get it out. So I just want to make sure you guys, it don't matter how I'm looking. It's not about a look. It's about what needs to be said. So until next time, thank you for tuning in with I Am Miss Jones, One Body, One Life.